Well, hello and welcome along to another Blueyonder video. Today's video I'm going to be talking about some of the tech that's available on this particular bike, the Honda Hornet 1000 SP, and more specifically the Honda Roadsync app and whether it's any good. So very briefly, what is Honda Roadsync? Well, essentially it's the built-in software to all Hondas of this generation with this type of TFT. It's the built-in software that gives you comms, it gives you nav, and it's pretty basic, but actually it's pretty effective, as we'll see as we go along on our ride out. So to get the best out of Honda Roadsync, really you do need a Cardo or similar comms system fitted to your helmet to get those verbal, those audio prompts. But it's still usable without a Cardo type device fitted. The helmet I'm wearing today doesn't have Cardo, it's my vlogging helmet, I haven't got a Cardo device on it. But as you will see, from a nav perspective, the visual prompts that you get on the TFT dashboard are still pretty good and still pretty usable. So we'll take a look at that as we ride along. I'm going to take you down to Southwell, Minster, which is about 14-15 miles from where we are here. So it'll give you a reasonable idea as to how it performs in a real world environment. And as I say, I think the functionality that it offers for a no-cost system is actually very good. Okay, so let's start with navigation. So press navigation.
Press right to start next search.
You may have heard there it actually asks you if you want to put a voice search in, or if you put the touch the magnifying glass, you can enter it in manually. So we're going to recent destinations.
Press right to start navigating.
Southwell, Minster. Press that. There we go.
Press right to start navigating.
Press right to start nav, so we shall do that.
Navigation.
As you can see, it's loading, and there we are. Morning. Okay, hopefully you can see the screen. So this is the village of Norton in Nottinghamshire. There's quite a few Nortons. This one is between Worksop and Mansfield. Okay, so we're coming into the Nationals for a short period anyway. Now it's a little bit of a cheat because I do know the way there, but it's a shortish distance, as I say, about 14-15 miles, something like that, and we've got a variety of types of roads. So it's now telling me the next turn is 0.3 of a mile onto Budby Road, and now actually usefully it's telling me the road number, the A616. So here's our left. So we're taking the Newark and Alton Road. So as I say, show you some of the nice roads and nice countryside in this part of Nottinghamshire, and also have a quick chat about various bits and pieces that have been happening that you might well be interested in. Okay, so let's have a look at this. It's telling me now my next deviation or turn, whatever you want to describe it, is in 3 miles time, and it's a roundabout, and again we can stay on the A616, the Worksop Road. Got to keep the speed down, unfortunately, because although this is a glorious piece of tarmac and not a lot of traffic and no housing around, as you can see, totally rural, it's a 50 miles an hour speed limit. Again, Nottinghamshire is plagued with these 50s, they're everywhere. They're an absolute pain, particularly when you've got a bike like this Hornet, which just wants to go. This bike, it's a real rider's bike. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but it is. Now, some of this information can be quite good. At the moment, it's not too bad. It's telling me the road name and the road number, and the next change of direction, which is in 0.4 of a mile, which is straight ahead. It's a roundabout. But often it will just give you a road name rather than a road number, and given the fact that often there's nothing that tells you what the road name is, that's not really that useful. But anyway, at the moment it's looking quite good. So as you see, we've got it's 0.2 of a mile, and we bear right on the A616, so that's quite useful. So if you're not using voice prompts, you definitely do need to read the road signs as well. You can't just rely on this. You do need to use your eyes and read what's happening around you. I know you should do anyway. Now on this road it's going to take us really through the edge of Sherwood Forest. You can just see over to my left it starts and it goes over to the right as well. What's left of Sherwood Forest, that is. Sherwood Forest, of course, being famous for Robin Hood and his merry men, amongst other things. Of course, there was no such person as Robin Hood. There's no documented proof that there ever was a guy called Robin Hood. But it's a good story, isn't it? It's folklore. And talking of folklore, a little bit further ahead, I'll point it out when we get there, is the turning for the Major Oak, which is reputed to be, by folklore, the meeting point of Robin and his merry men. So where this car's turning off, that's the road down to the Major Oak. And there you go. And there is a visitor centre and all the rest of it, so you can park up and have a walk down to the tree and sample a bit of British history and culture. So it's a sunny Friday, so there's quite a few bikes and a scooter there out and about today. And why not? We've had such a dreadful winter. I think people are making up for it while they can. Let's make use of this beautiful spring-like weather that we've been enjoying recently. And it's one of those weird things that actually I think we've had a better spring here in England than they have in Spain. So 0.6 of a mile, we turn right on the roundabout, Old Rufford Road, A614. So again, you know, actually it's pretty decent information. And as I say, you know, if I had my cardo fitted, I could flick this toggle switch to the right and I'd get verbal prompts, which actually can be a lot better. Now over here on the left hand side is a place called the Green Hut Cafe, popular among bikers and others, popular rendezvous point. So we're going right here. On the very busy A614. The other feature, if you've got your cardo fitted and you've got the audio prompts, if you flick the switch over to the right, the toggle switch, it will also tell you the miles remaining and your ETA, your estimated time of arrival, which again is quite useful. So in this particular case now, we're on this particular road, the A614, for 5.6 miles before we actually do a turn again. And this is yet another one of these roads, smile your uncandid camera, yet another one of these average speed camera roads. So you have to be pretty self-disciplined and keep to the speed limit, which is, I think is a 50 on here. So we're now going past the turn for Rufford Mill. Now, all you YouTube fanatics, people who are on YouTube a lot, you'll have seen all the shorts and the sort of short 3-minute videos of the fails of going through Rufford Ford. And that's the road here on the left hand side down to Rufford Ford. It's now closed, but it's infamous for all the fails of people trying to drive their BMs and goodness knows what else through the Ford and ending up trashing their cars. Quite funny in a schadenfreude sort of way. So a video that's going to be coming shortly is a pros and cons video for this, the Hornet 1000 SP. There are a huge number of pros, but there are a number of cons as well. Join me on that video, and because I've now done almost 1,000 miles on this bike, so I've got to know it really well, and I've got under the skin of the bike, and as I say, the good things and the bad things about it. So join me on that video. I think you'll find it extremely interesting. Talking about some of the functionality on the messaging side for messages, it will tell you, it will prompt you if you've received a message, and that can be a message through WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, SMS, and you'll see the message indicator there on the square postage stamp indicator on the TFT, so you'll know you've got a message, and you can listen to the message by pressing the toggle switch to the right, and it will play the message to you. And if you want to respond verbally as a voice note, you can also do that again using the toggle switch to record a message and send it, which I think is absolutely excellent. And as I was saying, you know, let's not forget, this is all free functionality. It's already built in. You're not paying a subscription for it. You don't have to pay an extra after 6 months or 3 months or something like that. It's built in. And this is really good. You've also got the option, as I say, of listening to Spotify. So again, if you've got your Cardo fitted, you can listen to your favourite tunes on Spotify. You can take calls, send calls. It's a really good, comprehensive system. Now, I know this nav system is relatively basic. It's not fully comprehensive. It doesn't give perfect information, but it gives pretty good information. And I'd much rather have that built into the TFT than have to have additional devices clipped to the bars or elsewhere on the bike. Because it's bad enough with GoPros, but I wouldn't want another TomTom or whatever device clipped to the bike. You know, it's basic. It's just another thing to have to take off and to look after. This is a much neater, better system, in my opinion. I know the information isn't as comprehensive, and it's a lot, as I say, a lot more basic. But for me, for 90% of the time, this will do the job just as well, if not better. Okay, so the next turn is now coming up. It's 0.4 of a mile. We turn left at a roundabout, and it's Kirtlington Road, and it's the A617. So if you look at the road sign, as I say, you've got to read the signs. There it is, A617 Newark, off to the left, first left. Okay, so we've got 2.9 miles, and then we turn right on Southwell Road. So we're pretty close to our destination at that point. So what I'll do now is just have a chat to you about a live stream that I've been involved with fairly recently. I don't know if you follow a guy called the Peaky Biker on YouTube. Got a good channel there as Brian, and Brian has a live stream every Wednesday evening at 8 PM. He calls it the Midweek Mumble, and essentially he invites other vloggers, other moto vloggers onto his live stream, and we have a chat about nonsense and various things connected with motorcycling. So it's really quite good fun. Very blokey, I'll warn you, it's pretty blokey, and there's quite a bit of swearing, so it's definitely over 18s only, guys. But it's a really good fun way to spend an hour on a Wednesday evening. So if you've got some free time next Wednesday at 8 PM, join Brian and whoever his guests are on the Midweek Mumble, and as I say, it's just a bit of nonsense, and it's interactive as well, so you can actually send your comments in. So by all means do that. I think you'll really enjoy it. Now, the other bit of news that I've got for you is that we've had a bit of a change around in the garage. Both Guzzies have gone, the V85 TT and the V100, they've gone, unfortunately. I would have liked to have kept them, but as needs must. There has to be a limit as to the number of bikes you can have in the garage. So they've gone. But I've also brought in a newcomer, and it's something I've been thinking about for a while. And one of the things is, if you've seen my video on the V85, if not, go back and have a look at it. I love that V85 in many ways, but there are a lot of things that really bug me about it. And you know, being quite honest, I'm getting to that age now where big, tall, heavy bikes just don't do it for me. They're too much like hard work. Yeah, I can manage them, but it's hard work, and I don't want hard work anymore. I like an easy life, as most of us do. So the V85 went, and I was thinking about, well, I like the adventure styling, for want of a better term, of the V85. I like the riding position. I really liked the engine characteristics of it. So what might be out there that I could look at? Now, I thought about a 450 MT CF motor, but you just can't get them. You just cannot get them. They're very appealing, but, you know, they're just, here we go, 150 yards, turn right. They're very appealing, but you just can't get hold of the things, so that's no good. I also thought about a Himalayan 450, and I quite like the Himalayan, but it didn't really float the boat that much. Now, as you can see, I'm a Honda man. I've had about 20 or more Hondas over the years, So one of the bikes I looked at and thought about was the NX 500. Now it's a bit of a drop, isn't it? Because it's down to 47 horsepower. The V85 was, depending on which model you're looking at, 76 to 80 bhp. A lot heavier, mind you, 230 kilos. But 47 horsepower, lighter bike. Is it something I can live with? Well, the bike is just coming up for its 600 miles. I bought a new one coming up for its 600 mile service, and I've had a couple of really good long rides on it. I went down to Sports Bike Shop a few weeks ago, did a little bit of sports bike shopping. Bought this actually, this Rucker Calyx 2 laminated jacket and trousers to go with it as well. And I had a ride over to Skegness the other week, which was really interesting, a long ride, 140, 150 miles, that sort of figure. And it was absolutely excellent, I have to say. So the question I'm going to be asking is, if you're an experienced rider and you've been used to higher powered bikes, is it feasible to drop down to a 47 horsepower bike, a lighter, smaller bike, but with much lower horsepower? Is it something we can live with? Well, you'll find out. I'm going to be doing a video on that. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on it. It's a very slippery road. There's not a lot of grip here again. Let's have to lose this Vauxhall, I think. There we go. Probably heard there, on the downshifts I'm still blipping, and there's a number of reasons for that. Main reason is that I find that the downshifts using the quick shifter on the auto blipper, they're not very smooth, and that may feature in the cons that I'm going to be talking about when I do the pros and cons video. So we're now coming to Southwell. And as it says there, it's a very historic town. And as you see when as you will see when we ride through, it's also an extremely attractive town. Quite well heeled is Southwell. Now, one of the other shortcomings on this is that the distance to the next turn, it doesn't change very quickly. So it makes it look as though you've still got a long way to go. You know, a couple of 100 yards or whatever, and you're actually on it. It doesn't update quickly enough. And ditto, when you make your turn, it seems to take a while to actually recognise that you've turned and again update. So the information is a bit slow to change and to update. That again is one of the few shortcomings on the system. So I'm now looking for this 100 yards. It's there. It's that right there. Burgage, and that's correct. Cancel the indicator. Lots of retired people out walking, and why not? So here we are coming into Southwell town. As you can see, it's beautiful. Some beautiful old buildings, and when we get to the Minster, I think you'll agree with me, it's quite a spectacular old Saxon stroke Norman church. Very big church. Minster is an old Saxon word, by the way. Oh, I wonder if it's market day. Tomorrow, probably. So I'm now looking for left, 60 yards, we turn onto Church Street. And here it is, the left. And here's Church Street. And it's telling me 160 yards we will have arrived, and there we are, we have arrived, because there is the Minster, Southwell Minster. So there you are. Let's have a chat about the system and just how good or bad it is. So what are my concluding thoughts then about Honda Roadsync? Well, considering it's free, there's no subscription, there's no upfront cost when you buy the bike, it's there, it's already included in the package. Considering all that, I know the functionality can be a little bit basic at times, but it's good, it's built into the TFT, it's neat, it's functional, it's very user-friendly and simple to use. So for me, Honda get a big thumbs up for adding value to something that's already a high-value package. So, okay, if you like the video, please remember to give it a like, and if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing, and until the next time, please remember, keep it shiny side up, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.